Hello and welcome to KTV News, where we'll be taking you live through all campus and Canterbury updates.
Coming up, Sports VP dismissed and banned for gross misconduct. University of Kent professors on strike.
Kent and CCU are working together to bid for funding for a new medical school. Train travel. The 16 to 25 rail card will be extended, 1/3 off until you're 30.
Postgrads unsatisfied with fourth accommodation, and Gandalf the Cat unveiled.
On Friday the 26th of January, Fraser Inglis, VP Sport, was dismissed from his role and banned from the University of Kent campus for gross misconduct. Following his dismissal, the union stated that the former Vice President had undergone a 6-week investigation from the disciplinary panel. There is still no information regarding the reason for his dismissal, and Kent Union President has refused to release any further statement to KTV.
Over to Vicky, who interviewed Vice-Chancellor Karen Cox about the bid for a new medical school in Kent.
What is the university expecting to gain out of the bid for the medical school?
We're hoping to secure 100 funded places in the first instance, but it's hugely competitive, so we really don't know whether we'll be successful or not until the end of March.
How will the medical school be divided between the two universities?
In terms of physical location, we do want students to be able to use the facilities at both universities.
When can we hope to see this project realised?
Right, okay, well we'll know by the end of March if we've actually got any places, which is the main thing. After that, it's going to be planning and setting up the medical school and working with the NHS.
So hello, we're here from KDD News, and we're walking around asking people about their thoughts on 16 to 25 rail cards. Do you travel by train a lot?
Yes, I do. I travel to London almost every weekend, so it's very important, that rail card.
I've got a rail card myself, so I travel from Kent back to London quite a bit.
No, I don't travel frequently because it's too expensive.
The government are trying to implement an extension to the rail card where instead of being 16 to 25, they're now thinking to extending it to 30 years.
No, I didn't know about that, but I think that's great.
You know, you look at the prices in London as well, especially the housing prices, it's kind of quite ridiculous. Now people are sort of living out of London now to then travel in. You know, I think having that discount definitely would help, 100%.
It definitely does help with commuting because I'm on minimum wage at the moment, so most of my wages do go on my train ticket back home. It would be nice just to cut that pay back a little bit more.
On the 26th of October, a fire broke out above the Westgate Towers kebab shop. It started around 8:20 and it took 4 hours to extinguish the fire. Thankfully, no one was injured or left harmed. Thank you very much. It was KTV News, providing you with the latest updates.
Last week marked the Transgender Awareness Week. We spoke to the trans officer Valiant about the LGBT+ community on campus.
I'm joined with Valiant, the LGBT trans officer. So Valiant, what is Trans Week of Remembrance all about?
It started out as Trans Day of Remembrance, being the time that we remember those we've lost in the year to anti-transgender violence. I think this year is about 356 names. And Trans Awareness Week is like a week before Trans Day of Remembrance, where we raise awareness on trans issues.
What support is available for trans and non-binary students on campus?
Most importantly, we have the LGBT+ officers. If you have some LGBT+ related issues, we can easily deal with it because we know how to signpost it.
There's been a worrying trend of abuse and rape being reported at Kent University and in the vicinity. We talked to the two women in charge of the Reclaim the Night March, Lily and Katia, to ask them their thoughts on the subject.
When you're a survivor of sexual assault or even rape, you find yourself, you feel very lonely, and you don't think this is an issue that concerns a lot of people, where it actually is.
It's about saying that we believe people and we trust that what they say did happen, like with what happened recently in Hale's Place. Then there is a trend of more support, which means that we need to keep going and not kind of bury our heads in the sand. We need to keep supporting.
Coming forward, this shows such a big strength in yourself, and overcoming that is probably the biggest achievement you will feel within your journey.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the Jewish Society and all the other societies involved in inviting me to come here and talk. It's really an honor and a privilege to be allowed to address you. I'm here to tell you about my family's and my experiences during World War II. I am a survivor of that terrible genocide commonly referred to as the Holocaust. Now you might wonder why I want to talk about such terrible times, and particularly now that they are so long ago. And the fact is, it's not the past that really motivates me or interests me. I feel remembering the past is always important, but my real motivation is the future. Because what I want to talk about is what happens in a society if we allow our prejudices to harden into hatreds and extreme ideologies to flourish. The differences between us, between different peoples, is actually much smaller than the things we all share together, but they become very magnified in our minds sometimes. And I don't think it's realistic to think we can get rid of prejudice per se, but I hope it's realistic that we can stop prejudice from becoming hatreds.
Hello and welcome back to KTV. My name is Beth and we are stood outside the Canterbury Cathedral where there is a peaceful protest taking place to end the cover-up of abuse in the Church of England.
My name is Andy Morse. I'm one of the 3 survivors wearing purple hoodies. We've come today to Canterbury Cathedral. The bishops are all here.
We're all here today as victims of abuse within the church, and we're here to protest because the church's treatment of survivors is terrible. Between myself and one other survivor, we have sent 31 letters and no acknowledgement at all.
It's important that they really engage with survivors of abuse in a positive way.
I was a victim of Bishop Ball, who's been well in the press. I first reported him in 1981, and my church, 11.
I didn't feel believed at the time as a child. Who would believe me? What would you do? We believe there should be an independent safeguarding authority, independent of the church and all institutions.
Any child abuse whatsoever should be reported to the police. Should be mandatory that they have to report it, no matter what context it's in. Whether it's in confessional setting, whatever. The abuse needs to stop. Finally, last week, the Archbishop actually came out and made a statement about supporting survivors.
We've had enough, and so we have waived our anonymity, and we are here because the church must act. This wall of silence has to go away.
If you have any feelings about this protest, please feel free to comment below. This has been KTV. Thank you for watching.
The Postgraduate Association are putting together a document to highlight the problems they face with accommodation. We interviewed them to find out more.
Hello, I'm Sam, here with KTV at Wolf College, about to interview some postgraduate students about their accommodation.
Wolf students have been faced with a number of issues throughout the years. This is not the first year this has happened, and the KGSA has worked tirelessly in the past to improve living conditions for postgraduate students here.
And so far we have about 33 complaints and issues that have been reported to us. Having access to hot water or water, and we have constant posts about these things on our postgraduate group, because just today my block didn't have water for an hour. Other blocks didn't have hot water.
You should be concentrating on your course, not the fact that you have no hot water, your doors don't lock and your floor's leaking. That should not be happening. Personally, I would like to ask for all the support of the postgraduate students here on campus living in Wolf who find their accommodation unacceptable in any way. Please, please, please get in touch. If you haven't already, please join our Facebook group. You can find it under University of Kent Postgraduates 2017-2018. Email us if you don't do Facebook, kgsa@kent.ac.uk. We need to hear everyone's thoughts on this, and we can't do this alone. We need your support.
Finally, if you're feeling under pressure and you want to take your mind off coursework and deadlines, thanks to the Student Mental Health Group and Pets as Therapy, more than a dozen dogs are coming to campus. If you feel like cuddling some furry friends, head to Turing Common Room between 1 and 3 this Friday.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back with live updates on the 29th of November. I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Harry.
And this is
KTV News.